This right here is really a neat thing. This is a way I figured out how that the myofiber layers in our heart are organized. We have myofibers that go about that thick in our heart. So I'm going to show some more of the aurora. You can see how the aurora at the bottom goes across. Doesn't go on the outside. Okay, there it is again. And there it is again. It's showing it. And what's interesting, it starts at one point, it becomes a little bit bigger, becomes 2. There's 1 here and then 2. Does that show up? There are points where the form, I don't know where I put it, but when you spin this, okay, the aurora always has these streaks. I don't know if you ever noticed it. There are streaks coming out. They're coming out of these points. It's a circle, but they're coming out here. And that's why there are 3. There are usually 3 points where the aurora comes. 1, 2, 3. And that's exactly where the form fits in the earth. Now, let me go a little further and show you, look at that. Now that's out there with the Hubble. Okay, and there's some kind of sphere out there that's got something going on. Okay, not all fantasy here. Okay, here I'm showing how this form, when you spin it. Okay, when you spin this form, that form is this one. That's the size. There it is. It's spinning. And it's bringing in that vortex. This vortex is exactly the same size as the chest of Hadron. This is an energy form. These others aren't. This is an energy form. That's another new consciousness that we have to work with. This is based on energy. So here comes the vortex. And the vortex goes right straight down this guy. See this guy right here? That's him. That's this guy in the middle. And what happens is this vortex doesn't get down here. It can't get down here because then it starts splashing out like that. Same in the heart. That's why the apex doesn't blow out. Okay, so I'm trying to get to this one thing here. That's really neat. And this one is, there's the 2 cones. Now here. You can see the aura moving. See it moving?
Yeah.
It's going like this. It's going back and forth. It's not just going one direction. This is part of the middle area, I told you, the mesoderm, where they're both slow. That's not very fast at all. That's because that's the midpoint. That's this part right here, where I'm telling you, it's both slow and 2 different kinds of vortexes. Okay. Thank you, sciences. Sometimes they really help. And then, if you put this into minimum surfaces, this is the shape of the 7-sided form. And this is the left ventricle, okay, of the human heart. And the left ventricle has this part here that's steeper than this part. And of all the researches that I've done, doctors don't know why this is at a different point here than this. Why isn't it just straight down like that? The reason it's not down like that, because that's not what the chest of Hadron does. The chest of Hadron has that bend right there. So if I put this in a vortex, I've found that this is what's going on. Our heart is a brake, because this part right here is deaccelerating, and so is this. The heart form is deaccelerating, not speeding up, it's slowing down. And this part is slowing down 4 times faster than this. That's why this doesn't blow out. So the heart is breaking the blood, it's trying to slow it down, and then what does it do? It gets all the way to the apex, and then what does it? It reverses. It does exactly what the Earth does with the aurora. The blood comes in here, you get down to the apex, and then it reverses direction. This one goes this way. When it gets down here, the heart does its thing, and it goes out this way, just like this. That's how the blood leaves and comes into the heart and leaves the heart. That is the left ventricle. How did I do that? I blew a bubble in the sphere, in this. If you take a bubble, you dip this in soap, and you take a straw, and you blow a bubble, that's the shape This is here. This is the bubble that's formed inside. That's how you become, this is how a geometric form becomes organic. You think, well, he made that up. No. All I had to do is photograph the bubble and then measure it. Okay. There it is, which I just showed you. And there it is compared to the real heart. It's on the right, it's on the left side, left ventricle. On this right side, it's been taken off to show you that the shape, okay, the formative forces are coming from geometry that we can understand that has gone out into minimum surfaces. And what minimum surfaces means is that everything inside geometry is trying to become a sphere. Same thing here. Same with this. And there's a really good guy, Dr. Walter Russell, that really backs this up. And this is his work. I recommend his work. He talks about how the sphere, okay, is a incandescent cube. And I agree. Okay. Here's the heart. And in the heart, there are 8 layers. And they go at different directions. They go like this, then they get even, and then they go back up. Just like this. Here it is. This is actually a muscle that's explaining how this works. So here it is going like this. It gets to the middle, and then it goes out here. All right, so the muscles are showing something. I've never found anyone that has been able to explain this on how this works. I've looked at all the researchers. I've given 2 conferences to doctors, and they're really surprised that I found this. And so am I. So here it is. As you notice, there's a vortex that's going in. See that? Underneath is going out. So what is that he's got, you know? What is that? This is what I did. I wanted to find a cone that would fit 26 degrees. And so I put lines on here because in projective geometry, that's what we do. We take flat patterns and we put lines on them. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take this as a red line there. I'm going to take this around and see what happens when I get a cone. And I got one cone like this. And I want to see what happens to those straight lines. And those straight lines become curves. But it won't fit in here. It won't go in this thing. Where is it? It won't go in here. Okay, so I'm going to do it twice. So I go around here twice. I make 2 cones. Okay, and I bring it around here so it meets the other edges. And all of the straight lines. I got to get this right here. Get the red lines lined up. Then all of the straight lines become triangles. Now nobody knows this. I didn't know this until I started fooling around with this. So just think, 2 cones make all triangles. But it won't fit in here. Getting better though. I know I got to go another time, so I turn it around one more time, and so I get it all lined up here. I get all squares.
Oh my God.
That's amazing stuff. But still won't go in, I don't think. Well, that's kind of close though. So I found out that I had to do it one more turn, and it goes into chaos.
There you go.
But it fits. So I realized I had to do it 4 times. Now that was kind of neat, except that they have 8, not 4. So then I went back to my old research here. My old research was with the 2 circles, yeah? There's the 2 circles with the same black center. And if I take that center out to the periphery, so that both centers now, one is on the periphery of both circles. And inside that is root 3, which makes a cube. You saw me do that. That's also known as the vesica. That's where they put formative people into that. And why? Because that's the balance between two polarities. The balance between two polarities now, which is a paradox. All right, so what do? I put two of these together. And what I did is I just followed what they had here. I saw that the muscle myofibers were being tucked in that direction underneath that little white slit. Then it was going under that slit there, and it was going under. So I just did the same. So you see how mine are going in the slit? See how I did this? How I figured this out? See how it goes in the slit there? Just like up there. Okay. So, trouble is I don't see any paper clips on this thing, so it's going to be easy. I'll try. Okay. Turn this into a cone. That's exactly 26 degrees. So that should be this cone that I have here. So that cone goes in there. Now, maybe I can show you with the bigger one because you can think, well, maybe, maybe not. But it's the same size cone. So if I twist this around like this until it comes to the second circle, and I tape them together. So this is one circle, right? This is one circle. That's this one. Now this one is hanging down here. So if I take this one and I wrap it around, and I get another cone. Well, that doesn't work. That's not working. Look, there are two cones. That's cool. But so I thought, well, I could cut that off. You know. Yeah, you know, this is a human thing. Well, I don't know what to do. So what I decided I would do is to say, well, why don't I just keep going? So I did. I just kept them going in the same row. And now I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers, and the right side cone. So what I needed to do was to find out if my protocol was correct. So I see that there's a line coming down here like this. See it? Okay, and now if I peel one layer off, that's what he did. He peeled the layers off and cut them off. Okay, it's still going down. Get to the third layer. Well, not quite as much. I get to the middle layer, and straight across.
Wow.
So now I have to do a paradox. I have to do a reversal. Instead of going down, I have to go up. Instead of going down, I have to go up. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start here. I'm going to take off another layer. It's a middle layer. Okay, so I take this and peel this. Aha! It's starting to go up. Now it is going up. And now it's exactly the 8th layer. Simple, yeah? Yeah. But at least now, cardiologists will know exactly what layer among the 8, okay, what the angle is by this simple method of looking at this. All they have to do is just roll this up. And they'll find, oh, boy, that part right there, that's where the bullet went in.